welcome to the weekly market report COVID-19 edition. My team and I compiled the data to put this series together for all of you in the wake of the COVID-19 epidemic. You'll see right here on our screen, this is a line graph. We've taken certain market metrics every week and set them against the COVID-19 curve to answer the question once and for all, how is this pandemic affecting our local market? So let's dive in and explore that, shall we? In terms of Boca Raton luxury condominiums, week over week, we are down 50%. So last week we had 2 luxury condominiums hit the market. This week we only had 1. If we look at the month of April for 2019, which is of course a wider data set, probably a better indicator of a trend, the month of April 2019 to the month of April 2020, we had a significant decrease. So year over year, we're down 14% in terms of new condominiums hitting the market. If we look at the year-to-date number, 2019, January to week number 20, and then looking at 2020, January to week number 20, we are down 11%. Now, keep in mind as we go through the numbers for this week that we had a very robust first quarter here in Boca Raton. So the month of April, sharp decline by 79%. We're into the month of May. The sharp decline is continuing and we're sort of chipping away at that lead that we had established in Q1. One of our favorite leading indicators is new contracts being signed. So this week we didn't have any contracts signed. Last week we had 1. If we compare 2019 month of April over 2020 month of April, we see a significant decrease. Last year in the month of April, we had 8 new contracts signed, and this year we've only had 1. That's a decrease of 88%. In terms of listings that have been canceled, we've been pretty flat the last couple of weeks with nothing significant happening. And if we look at the data for the month of April 2019 compared to April 2020, we see an increase of 83%. So that period last year, we had 6 canceled listings, which is really a normal time of year for listings to cancel after season. This year there were 11 cancellations, so that's a significant increase. Looking at the year-to-date number, it is even more significant. We have an increase of 105% for canceled listings from January to present 2020 versus January to present in 2019. Year to date, we've had 39 listings canceled in the luxury condominium segment. Now on to everyone's favorite topic of discussion, closed sales. So this week in Boca Raton luxury condominiums, we had 0 closed sales compared to last week, during which we had 6. The April time frame shows a decrease as well. Fairly significant. April is generally a month in which we have a large number of closings here in Boca Raton. So last year we had 14 closed sales in the month of April, and this year we've only had 5. That is a decrease of 64%. Now, if we take a look at the year-to-date numbers, January to present 2019 versus January to present 2020, we are down 33%. So that is significant. Again, given that we had such a strong first quarter going into mid-March, it's going to be very interesting in the coming weeks and months. I anticipate we are going to see a softening of the market going into the second quarter. Let's take a look at single-family homes. This week in single-family homes, we had 16 new listings hit the market, which is the same as we had last week. So we are flat week over week, and this is been pretty consistent the last several weeks. For the month of April 2019 versus the month of April 2020, we are down 55%. Last year we had 55 new listings, and this year we've had 25. If we look at the year-to-date numbers, we're down 10%, keeping in mind, of course, Q1 was off to a robust start. At present, we have a total of 340 single-family luxury homes listed for sale in Boca Raton. If we look at the number of contracts that have been signed this week, that's usually a pretty good indicator of consumer confidence on the part of buyers. We had 6 properties go into contract this week compared to 12 last week, so we are down on that metric. And for the month of April last year versus this year, we had 37 properties go into contract for that period, and this year we've only had 11. That is a decrease of 70%. That is significant year over year, and it's a definite indicator of a decline in buyer confidence right now. Our year-to-date numbers are down 15%. When we take a look at the properties that have been pulled off the market, they're either canceled, withdrawn, expired, they were on the market and now they are not. This week we had 14 such properties. Last year we had 11, we're up about 27%. For the time frame of the month of April 2019, we had 37 canceled listings, and this year we've had 33. So we're actually down 11% in terms of cancellations. I assert that has a lot to do with the high number of cancellations we saw in the month of March and April. Interestingly, year to date, we're pretty well flat. We're up 1% in terms of cancellations. All right, everyone's favorite, right, are the sales. For week 20, we had 2 closed single-family luxury homes, and that is a decrease of 75% week over week. For the month of April, we're down 30%, 29% in 2019 and 19% in 2020. Our year-to-date numbers are basically flat. Last year we had year-to-date, so from January to week number 20, we had 110 closed sales. And this year, from January to present, we've had 110. We are actually up 5% year over year in terms of closed sales. I attribute this to the very strong first quarter that we were experiencing before we went into the COVID period. Of course, following the stats week to week and looking forward into Q2, those numbers will start to become more significant and pronounced. We'll be able to better understand what all of this means. So, for our friends at home, what does this mean for you as a buyer or a seller of luxury property in Boca Raton? What we're seeing is that the number of new listings coming to market are down, the number of signed contracts are down, and sales are about flat. The interesting phenomenon that this is creating is a pretty significant inventory shortage. I can speak from experience. In the last week, I've had 2 situations where we had multiple offers on a property. There's just not a lot of inventory out there. Meanwhile, we do have buyers who need or want to buy, and we do have sellers motivated to sell. So there definitely is some velocity in the marketplace. We're seeing a decrease in inventory, which could be early signs of a forthcoming seller's market. Dare I say it, prices are stable. So there has been no decrease in the asking price versus the selling price of our listings. And although some speculative investors really want to get a great bargain right now, there aren't too many to be had. Prices are holding firm. So we really hope that this continues into Q2. That will keep our local real estate market nice and healthy and onward into Q3 and Q4. So if you would like more information about your own situation, please don't be shy. Give me a call. I'm very easy to find by phone. 561-500-PINK. That's 561-500-PINK. It would be my pleasure to speak with you about your personal situation. Thanks again for watching. I'm Rochelle Lecavalier, bringing you the very best of Boca Raton luxury real estate. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed shooting it. Be kind. Click this button over here that says subscribe. It'll let me know that you value what we've done. Just next to it, it's a little bell. Click that and you'll receive a notification each and every time we upload a new video. That might be a Tuesday tour of a luxury property. That might be Boca 360, interesting people, places, and happenings in and around Boca, or Data Nerds Unite, a nice market report for you. Anything you'd like to see, put it down here in the comments. I read each and every one of them. Thanks again for watching. Look forward to seeing you soon.